Office of the Auditor General.
Good morning, Chair and members. My name is Patrick Muriuki. I'm the liaison officer attached to this committee from the Office of the Auditor General. Chair, we have a delegation and our team based in Kakamega who are responsible for the audit of the county executive. With the permission, Chair, I request them to come on record.
I'm CPA Patrick Kimani. I'm based at the Kakamega Regional Office.
Ogata Stanislaus, OAG, Western Region Office.
Welcome, OAG.
CPA Manuel Otieno, Office of the Auditor General, Western Regional Office.
Oh yeah, Manuel, you sat on the extreme side today. EACC.
Good morning, Chair. I'm Patricia Chebet, liaison officer attached to this committee from the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission.
From Control of Budget.
Good morning, Chair and members. My name is CPA Nancy Kindi, attached from the Office of the Controller of Budget.
You're welcome. The National Treasury will be joining us in due course. Now let's get to the visiting delegation. Do we have the County Assembly Public Accounts Committee? Yeah, I think let's have them go on record because I believe they are a distinct delegation. They are not part of the governor's delegation.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Kevin Mahalo, Chairman Public Accounts Committee from Kakamega County Assembly. Chair, with your permission, let me allow members of the committee to introduce themselves and our secretariat. So I'll start with our committee secretariat.
Good morning, my name is Anne Yeshe, Committee Clerk.
Chair, good morning. Titus Kuma, a member of Park Committee, Kakamega County Assembly.
Chair, I'm Balik Chuma Pius, the Vice Chair of the Park Committee, Kakamega County Assembly.
I'm Boniface Bango Sango, member of Park. Thank you. Chair, I'm Dr. David, member of Park and also the leader of Minority Kakamega County Assembly.
That's all, Chair. Thank you.
You are welcome. It's always a pleasure to see you during our meetings. Now let's go to the executive. The Governor Kakamega, please go on record.
Thank you, Chair and honorable members. My name is FCPA Fernandez Baraza, Governor Kakamega County. I have my delegation here. Allow me to ask them to introduce themselves.
Proceed.
Honorable Chair and honorable members, I'm CPA Livingston Imbai, the County Executive Committee member in charge of Finance and Economic Planning. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. I'm Dr. Juma Juma, the Chief Officer Finance and Budget, Kakamega County.
Thank you, Chair. I'm CPA Wycliffe Wabuche, Accountant.
Thank you, Chair. I'm CPA Victor Kasimani, I'm Accountant. CS Vivian Baka, County Attorney.
Dr. Lawrence Muhaka, County Secretary.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. My name is Joseph Bushoro, Head of Procurement.
Thank you, Chair. My name is CPA Mami Malim, Head of Treasury.
Thank you, Chair. I'm Prisco Tipo, Chief Officer Public Service.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Mariam Nyongesa Were, Chief Officer Water and Sanitation Services.
Thank you, Chair. I'm CPA Chris Ombunya, the CEO of the Revenue Agency, Receiver of Revenue for this aspect.
Thank you, Chair. My name is John Mitalo, Governor's Personal Assistant.
So I believe everyone has introduced themselves in the room, so we don't have strangers. We will proceed, honorable members, on adoption of agenda. Our agenda is as stated there. Could I get a proposer?
Chair, I propose.
Thank you, Senator Mary Mumar.
Chair, second.
Thank you, Senator Onyonka. Next will be administration of oath. The clerk of the Senate will guide the governor for Kakamega.
Fernandez Baraza, do solemnly swear that the evidence that I shall give before this committee in respect of the matters before the committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Next will be tabling of your written responses and supporting annexures.
Mr. Chairman, I hereby table the following documents before the committee. Number one, management responses and accompanying annexures on the reports of the Auditor General on the financial statements for financial years 2020, 2021, and 2021-2022, and the receiver of revenue statement for the financial year 2021-2022 for the County Executive of Kakamega.
Auditor General, could you confirm that what was circulated in advance you have been able to review?
Yes, the county provided the documents on time and we have been able to go through them.
So we don't have the problem we had last time where there was late submission.
Yes.
You are ready to prosecute today?
Yes.
Clerk of the Senate, can you confirm that we received our copies in good time?
Thank you, Chair. Yes, I can confirm that we received our copies in good time. Thank you.
Okay, Senator Munka.
Good morning, Chair. Your Excellency, thank you. I just wanted to, first of all, give you a lot of congratulatory remarks because I and you are in Mombasa attending the ISPA conference, and you are the one who actually talked to the convener and persuaded them that what you were coming to do in this committee was important and we couldn't stay a second day. I made sure that I told Chair that that is what your engagement was, and I told him I really appreciate because you expressed the responsibility that you hold in these matters. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Senator Onyonka. I hope hiyo sio mafuta na mpaka kabla kumnyoa.
No. Chair, I have no outstanding issues with the governor. None whatsoever.
Yeah, so if that was said, then that's important that governors are taking these matters seriously, and also Kakamega. Every time you have come here, we have reminded you that we have had problems with Kakamega, and we are happy that we are now seeing greater cooperation. So because of time, we will have to quickly go into the report. Last meeting did not take off because of issues on the part of the county executive, and today I'm happy that we are well aligned. At the last meeting, we spent a little bit of time having a conversation with the county assembly to find out how far they had gone with their consideration of the audit reports, and we made certain recommendations which I am informed that the county assembly has implemented. Maybe Chairman, before I go into the report, I'm informed that you have had some deliberations with the Office of the Auditor General to improve your interrogations and the quality of your reports.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, we've had meetings with the OAG, and furthermore, you advised on how we needed to present our reports, and you can see now our adopted reports have stamps. So we are compliant, Chair, and we thank the Office of the OAG for guiding us. Thank you. And the interrogation took place between us, the Office of the OAG, and the Executive. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that was the most important omission, that this is a report of the Auditor General. It cannot be prosecuted by an internal auditor. It is the Auditor General to lead the conversation. We have spent quite a lot of time with the Office of the Auditor General to review these reports. We already have a view of what has been resolved and what remains outstanding. So, Auditor General, as per our earlier brief, if there's a matter that has been resolved to your satisfaction, we will take note and take the written responses. But if there's a matter that is partially resolved, we'll have to go to details. We have 3 reports, and we intend that by 2:30, we should be done with these 3 reports. We will start with the most recent report, which is the report of the Auditor General on County Executive of Kakamega for the year ended 30th June 2022. We will thereafter look at the receipt of revenue report because it relates to the same financial year, and then we will go to the report of the Auditor General for the year ended 30th of June 2021. Auditor General, just start by giving us your opinion, and then we go to the basis of the opinion.
In this particular year, 2022, the County Executive of Kakamega received a qualified opinion. There are various paragraphs. The first paragraph is on the differences between the financial statements and IFMIS records, and this issue we verified and we are satisfied with the documents which were provided.
So you can confirm that the variances have been reconciled, and if you run an extract from IFMIS, it will tie with the financial statements.
Yes, they have provided a reconciliation schedule showing the difference between the 2 figures.
Okay, so if the prosecutor says this is resolved, we'll mark it as resolved and take the written responses. Number 2, on receipts, there was a variance of 793 million which had not been explained or reconciled. What is the current status?
We received the reconciliation statements on the same. They were provided at Annex 2, and we verified them and we are satisfied.
Fine, we will go to other grants and transfers. The subsidies to small businesses, cooperatives and self-employed. You indicated this was resolved, but I think it's a matter that the committee might want to look at. So can you just read your finding, and then we go back to see how it has been resolved.
Note 8 of the financial statements includes 17,700,000 related to subsidies to small businesses and cooperatives and self-employed. However, schedules and other documents in the support of the amount were not provided for audit review. Thank you.
In the circumstances? Where are you reading from? I thought you were reading your report.
Oh, I had a report. Chair, he was reading from the brief. Maybe I can request him to get the certificate from...
Yes. Let's read the certificate, because the brief is truncated.
Thank you, Chair. Certificate.
Other grants and transfers, 3.1, unsupported subsidies to business, cooperatives and self-employed. The statement of receipts and payments reflects an amount of Shillings 1,669,734,000. Let me read again. The amount of Shillings 1,669,734,711 in respect to other grants and transfers, which as disclosed in note 8 of the financial statements includes 17,700,000 relating to subsidies to small business, cooperatives and self-employed. However, schedules and other documents in the support of the amount were not provided for audit review. In the circumstances, the accuracy of the transfers totaling 17,700,000 could not be confirmed.
Governor, could you just read your management response?
Thank you, Chair. The schedules and other supporting documents related to the above expenditure have been provided to the auditors for verification. Therefore, the accuracy of the transfers of 17,700,000 is hereby confirmed. We provided those schedules in Annex 3.10 and 3.11, which the auditors also confirmed the same, Chair.
Governor, could you just shed light on the authority that the executive had to give out this 17 million to the various groups? Because I am seeing there a schedule with what is the count of this? How many entities received this amount? You have not enumerated them.
Okay, we have a number, Chair, but I've got a number here. I can see there are actually almost 20 plus.
There are 39.
Yeah.
So first of all, starting from the authority, and the authority is basically budget, and budget means approval of the county assembly. Then the identification of the 39. Why 39 and not 50 and not 20? So just shed some light on that.
Well, first and foremost, we have to agree that this is historical. So I'll attempt to explain. The authority, I want to believe, was the budget that must have been approved by the assembly, because that is where the starting point of expenditure lies.
No, I don't want you to speculate the way the chairman would speculate. You are the one with the answers. So don't be speculative. Just tell me there was authority, there was a budget, there was a supplementary, it was passed on this and that day for the 17 million. We have seen practices in Kakamega County where the executive makes unilateral decisions. I think we were present when you tried to defend the contribution to West Pokot, and we got to the conclusion that that was a roadside declaration. So was this 17 million another roadside declaration, or it was based on an authority which is a budget approved by the county assembly and subjected to public participation?
I want to believe there was a budget, Chair. I think what I will request the committee is we can provide that budget approval by the assembly to give credence to the expenditure. So that is an item which we can commit to provide approval by the assembly.
What was the criteria for identification of beneficiaries?
Well, I can also request to get the criteria, but ideally the grants usually, after the approval has been granted, I'm very sure there was a business case that was done by the cooperative. So those are informations which, if you allow me, I can actually get the nitty-gritties so that we can satisfy the Senate on the same.
Yeah, because OAG, this is not just a matter of asking for beneficiaries. You must also confirm and verify that this expenditure was, there was authority. I have seen some documents there talking about a cabinet meeting that agreed to support cooperatives. But the cabinet cannot make unilateral decisions without subjecting it to the county assembly. And this is a matter that I want us to make sure that we are all in agreement that the authority to spend is drawn from the budget. And the budget is drawn from the people through public participation. I think we had a case here where a county had spent a couple of millions to buy success cards. And the question was, did the people of this county sit under a tree and say that let's spend on success cards at an amount that could have built about 3 or 4 ECD classrooms? So even on this, it's important that there's record that there was authority and it was not a unilateral decision of the county executive. Yeah. When you do a subsidy to a cooperative, or when you do a grant to cooperatives, because subsidies tend to be used to lower the cost of something or to lower the barriers to access. But when you do grants to cooperatives, what was the intended outcome and impact on the local economy?
I know sometimes you may want to support the local groups, basically to boost their business, their businesses. So, and because the budget, besides having maybe the nod of the executive, which I'm sure there was a business case, which, as I've said, once you're providing the evidence of approval, we shall also provide the business case that was presented to Cabinet for purposes of concurrence. I think that, Chair, if you give us time, it will satisfy the question that you've asked.
Senator Maremuma.
Chair. The query is, however, the schedule or other documents in support of the amounts were not provided. But if I go through, I see only the schedule and payments, vouchers, but I don't see the budget approval, which is not here. Secondly, is this money being repaid with interest, or it is just...
Thank you, Chair. First, we provided the schedule and the payment vouchers. I've just requested the committee to allow me to provide the budget approval. And this being a grant, I don't think whether there was interest or repayment per se. Thank you.
Let me bring Chair County Assembly Public Accounts Committee. When you queried this matter, did you look out for the authority in terms of budgets, in terms of criteria for disbursement, and in terms of impact assessment?
Thank you, Chair. I was lucky to be in the last county assembly, and there was approval for this. However, as a committee, our recommendation to the executive is that these documents were never provided at the time of audit. But however, when we went through the interrogation process, they are later provided. So the county executive should endeavor to provide those particular documents during the auditing process.
What was the approval? Approval was in what form?
It was we provided what we call support to, it's a grant, and grants are never repaid with interest. And it is a program in our budget. It's even ongoing in the current financial year where we provide grants to some small, I'll call them CBOs and small businesses. So it was provided in the budget.
And the criteria for allocation?
Normally, there is an application that goes out. Then committee, the groups do the application. Then they are normally vetted, and the grants are split between women groups, youth groups, and those with living the disability cases.
Who should be the governor today? The guy answering the question or the guy asking for more time?
I think, Chair, you know, the Chair of Park is also answering as one of the stakeholders of this process, because I believe we are here as the county government of Kakamega, which has the assembly and the executive. So I honestly don't think there's a problem if the chair, even having the historical memory, having been in the assembly before, clearing some of those issues.
I think for the purpose of the Senate, we will be satisfied when we see that budget item, when we see those conditions, because, and perhaps when I made that comment, is just to remind the chair that he remains an overseer. He is not the executor. So it is the executive that should be providing those details, despite the historical knowledge. But if the Senate does not have visibility of that, and again, Chair, it's not just a matter of relying on memory. this is an evidence-based exercise, that the budget needs to be demonstrated, the lines need to be demonstrated, and the criteria needs to be defined, whether it's in policy or it's in regulation. So, Governor, how much time do you need to provide that?
I think that one we just need a week is enough, if it's okay with the committee.
Auditor General, within 7 days, get that so that when you're writing our report, you can update us by giving the evidence.
Chair, you have taken note.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let's go then to the next issue, another transfer to Maternal Child Health and Family Planning Family Planning Fund. Auditor General, you indicated this has now been resolved. 3.2.
Yes, we indicated that it had been resolved, and we were given a summary of the breakdown on the transfers and the reconciliations, and the evidence in the bank statement. This was provided.
Governor, is this fund established properly with regulations?
Yes, Chair.
Is it still running?
It's still running.
And have financial statements been prepared for the fund?
Yeah, we do annual financial statements.
Auditor General, have you audited the financial statements of the fund?
Yes, they are audited separately.
So how much was actually received by the fund? Was it 70 million or 50 million?
$70 million.
It was 70 million.
Yes.
Did the county executive then update their financial statements to account for the variance of 19.5?
Yes, this was update. They provided the updated accounts.
Okay, Governor, let's just see that. Take us to the annexure where that is demonstrated.
Thank you, Chair. The supporting documentation is provided in Annex 3.21. That is, when you look at the which is clear that first we have the 70 million, and then we have the 50, 448, 800. Chair. These are receipts from KP Marisha, which we did not recognize as receipts. And then, of course, the 20 million there, which is recognized in 2020, 2021 in executive financial statements. So the difference gives the 19, 556, 200, Chair.
Are the two funds, reporting the two funds on the same basis? For the executive, it's on cash basis. For the fund, accrual.
The fund is accrual.
So could that be part of the reason why that 20 million was not captured?
Yes, yes.
So Auditor General, that is a...
Yes.
Okay, but you can confirm that the 20 million as transferred on 16th of July 2021 was captured?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, if that is the case, I think we can proceed then to issue number 4. Another transfer and another issue on transfers to Kakamega County Dairy Development Corporation.
Transfers to other county governments. The statement of receipts and payments reflects transfers to other government entities of Kenya shillings 1,506,793,071, which was disclosed in Note 7 of the financial statements, includes transfers to Kakamega County Dairy Development Corporation amounting to Kenya shillings 66,084,464. However, the financial statements of Kakamega County Dairy Development Corporation for the year ended 30th June 2022 reflect receipts from the county executive amounting to Kenya shillings 68,561,156. The variance of Kenya shillings 2,476,682 has not been explained or reconciled. In the circumstances, the accuracy and completeness of the amount of Kenya shillings 1,506,783,071 in respect of the transfers to the other government units could not be confirmed.
Is it a similar root cause?
Yes.
So the two, because I'm usually worried where what is transferred in the executive is higher than what has been received by the entity. That's where things usually get lost. But if what is transferred by the executive is less than what was received by the corporation, it can be explained on the same basis as the other matter that we dealt with.
Yes.
You are satisfied as Auditor General?
Yes, we are satisfied.
Okay, we shall then take the written responses. I want to welcome Senator for Tharaka-Nithi. Senator Gataya, please go on record.
I'm sorry for coming late. This is Senator Manda Gataya, move for Tharaka-Nithi County, a member of this committee.
You're welcome, Senator. We go to cash and cash equivalents. There was a variance of 701 million that had not been explained or reconciled. In your brief, Auditor General, you indicated that this has now been addressed.
This has been addressed because the bank reconciliations for all these accounts have been provided, and even the bank statements, and we verified them.
Next is on pending bills. On pending bills, we want to take a holistic view. We are not, because sometimes it's not very useful to take a view as a 2022 or as a 2021. So once we have dealt with the specific year view, Governor, you will also explain to the Senate your current stock of pending bills, your strategy around settlement, and whether when you assumed office, there were certain processes you initiated to verify the accuracy of those pending bills. So I want the Auditor General to read his finding, and then you will respond, and then we'll have a discussion on the current situation. Auditor?
Unsupported pending bills. Note 1 to the financial statements on other important disclosures reflects a balance of Kenya shillings 1,277,690,723 in respect of pending accounts payable as disclosed in Annex 2 to the financial statements. However, a register of the pending bills in support of the amounts was not provided for audit review. In the circumstances, the accuracy and completeness of the pending bills balance of Kenya shillings 1,277,690,723 could not be confirmed.
Governor, you may read your response.
The management has noted observation by the auditor. However, the register of the pending bills was included in the audited financial statements under Annex 2, analysis of the pending bills.
You are reading from which page?
That is item number 6, that is unsupported pending bills.
Which page? You did not page note your responses. I think those are small clerical details that you need to improve on.
When you go to Annex 6, Chair, you will see a register of pending bills. That is Annex 6, extract of Annex 2, register of pending bills of 1,200,790,697.23. We have given that Annex, Chair. I don't know whether we are.
So, Auditor General, you said there was no disclosure, there was no register of pending bills, but the governor here submits Annex 2. So what was the problem during the time of audit?
This register was not provided, and whenever a document is not provided at the time of audit, an auditor is not able to carry out the kind of test that he would have wished to have carried out. So it amounts to limitation of scope, though the document has now been provided.
In the report that I'm looking at, I'm seeing there's an analysis of pending accounts payable starting from page 60, though it does not appear to be similar in terms of presentation. There could be a difference in presentation, but there seems to be a similarity in substance. Okay, so Governor, in your schedule there were 833. There were 833 creditors, and in this report, it's 834. There is a slight difference between what you have submitted here and what the Auditor General certified.
When you look at the observation, Chair, the pending bills is 1,277,697.23. And that is what we have submitted, the 833 creditors.
What I have here are 834. That's why I'm saying there's a difference. There's a slight difference, which then could convince me that the auditor didn't see this this was attached as an afterthought. But what I have is 834. This is 834, yours is 833, even though the totals are the same. So was someone cooking things somewhere? Auditor General, do you have the certified financial statement with you?
I only have the report.
No, but you must have this because this is the basis of your prosecution. Because you are saying this evidence was not there at the time of audit. I am seeing it in the financial statement. George, what is the source of this? Is this what was tabled in the House?
Yes, it was what was tabled.
Yeah, so I'm seeing it, but it has 834 entries. This has 833 entries with the same total. Patrick?
Chair, please allow me to obtain the financial statements and we go through the list of pending bills that was originally in the report so that we come back to this committee. You have raised a very important issue that in the numbering, the client has reported 834 and the 833, and in the report we had the 834. So the figures cannot be the same.
Yeah, so you know, as an expert in these matters, when you have different counts but same total, then you know something has been adjusted in between. But that notwithstanding, let's now go to the holistic view. If at this point it was 1.27 billion, that was 30th June 2022. You assumed office in August or September? September 2022. How much was handed over to you as pending bills? Because that assumption of office of governor, there's a process of handover of pending bills.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. What was handed over to me by the 15th of September 2022 was the 1.2 billion in terms of the pending bills. And immediately what I did is to commission a committee so that a verification process is done before we even authorize payments. There was a report that was done by the pending bills committee, which gave me now the credence of doing the settlement. And one thing I can confirm, Chair, is by the end of the last financial year, we had actually settled all the pending bills. As at now, for June 2023.
Okay, what was the outcome of that verification? Did they confirm that the 1.2 was valid and payable?
The outcome, they actually verified and confirmed that the 1.2 billion was payable because it was properly supported. And on the basis of that recommendation by that committee, then we started now a process of paying.
Okay, just pause there because this is, we don't get to hear this often.
Okay.
Many a times, governors will come and tell us that I inherited 1.2 and I established that 700 was invalid and so I'm not going to pay. I think that's been the general trend. Almost 90% of governors have said so. So this then would be unique. I think we must take note of that in your verification, there was no dispute on the pending bill amount.
No.
Fine. Now, going to settlement?
Immediately after the verification process, we had to at least have commitment on every disbursement that we get from the equitable share. And from the month of October, from the month of November, Chair, we now dedicated at least in every disbursement, we make sure that we release at least a minimum of 200 million to settle the pending bills, because as you are aware, the first charge is given to the pending bills, and having received a clean report on the verification, by the time we are closing the financial year in June 2023, actually we settled the last batch by July 2023 because of the delayed disbursement. And as far as we are concerned, and which is on record, the 1.2 billion pending bills was fully settled. As at now, of course, because the projects are still being implemented, some of the projects which we inherited from the previous administration, they were ongoing, especially the roads. we had a pending bill of 1.42 billion Kenya shillings as at June 2023.
Just read that figure again.
1.426 billion.
1.426 billion.
That was the pending bill registered as at June 2023.
2023. At the close of that financial year.
Yes.
Okay.
As at now, we have paid up 892 million Kenya shillings. Of course, bearing in mind that the disbursements we have received, we have only received up to February this year. So we are still committed to at least settle the remaining 634 by the close of the financial year. Hopefully, we are going to receive all the disbursements by end of the financial year. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, if you go to your annexure, just look at entry number 657. 657. Actually, just look at that page where you've got from 647 to 661. All those relate to legal fees.
Yes.
Yeah? How have you treated your contingent liabilities? Have you started reporting on them?
Yeah, when you look at this financial year, Chair, contingent liabilities, of course, we do disclosures in the financial statements, especially where the amount involved or the litigation amount involved, it is not certain of what will be the outcome. But in terms of the legal fees, we don't disclose it as a contingent liability because this is an amount that is clear and outstanding. So we only put it as other creditors if it's not been settled by the end of the financial year. But where the matter is involving a determination by the court, that's how we disclose it as a contingent liability. But the item you have raised, Chair, this cannot be disclosed as a contingent liability because it relates to legal fees.
Yeah, because I agree with you that that has been determined, so it becomes an account payable.
Yeah.
But if you have such a long list of legal fees, and it's not just on one page, it runs through 3 pages, it is indicative that they must be having significant litigation in progress. Now, have you started the discipline of making that disclosure of litigation in progress, leave alone the ones that have been determined? Because I'm trying to look at your financial statements to see whether that was captured, so that we can agree if it was not the habit in the past, then it needs to start.
Yeah, one thing I can confirm, Chair, is where we have a matter that is in court and it involves a determination of the quantum. Proper financial reporting is a disclosure. And I can confirm that in this financial year, the last audit of June 2023, we've done several disclosures of specific litigations that are still pending in court.
In the report that you are considering?
In the report you are considering, I don't think whether we've had any disclosures, Chair.
It's extremely important, and we emphasize that to counties when they come before us, because we have seen some cases where counties would be technically insolvent if all the matters that are in court were to go against them. Counties like Kakamega, I'm sure the bulk of your issues must be with regards to land, land dispute. And we have seen some interesting habits in the corridors of justice, where if you're not careful, actually it's not just a corridors of justice problem, it is an internal problem. Many counties did not have county attorneys or solicitors, and even where they had them, they took a very laid-back approach to matters in court. And so awards were given against county governments. The internal team of lawyers did not appeal. And so counties are staring at very huge legal expenses. These are matters that we need to tighten. I think in the introduction, there was a county attorney.
Yes.
So you have operationalized the County Attorneys Act in Kakamega, properly and fully.
Yes, we have done so.
We hope that it can lead to some savings
Yes.
in future in terms of legal expenses and in terms of the exposure of the entity.
Yes, Chair.
Fresh from the corridors of justice, Senator Umtata, I was happy to excuse you for today, but go on record.
Honorable Chair and Honorable Member of the Senate, Your Excellency, the Governor Fernandez of Kakamega, and your distinguished delegation, my name is Okio Mtato Koichi, Senator from Busia, and a member of this committee. Most welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. So I think then we close the conversation on pending bills by taking note that unlike many other counties, Kakamega did not have a dispute during the handover on the completeness of pending bills. And as at June 2023, you have indicated you had 1.42 billion and you've paid 892 million of that, and committing on average 200 million?
Yeah, 200 million per month.
A month or per quarter? Per month?
Per month.
Per month.
Based on the disbursements, yeah.
Okay.
Chair.
Senator Maria Umar.
Chair, and disclosure number 2, there's other pending bills to staff. I go to Annex Chair number 3. There's breakdown of that 44.5 million, which is individual, the set of almost 8 departments. What is it all about?
That is in the notes, that's Annex
3,
Annex 3.
page 11, 111.
Analysis of pending staff payables.
Payables.
Governor, are you looking at the same, because this is your financial statement, which you should be having. It was the basis of the audit.
And again, the way he agreed with the 1.2 billion of the other payments, the other pending bills, when you hand over, you agree also with this 44.5?
Yeah, Chair, this one, again, it was audited, and these are staff, there were staff outstanding DSS, which have been fully settled. Thank you.
But in terms of disclosure, should it be department or it should be the individual creditor? Auditor General? Because if we are looking at pending staff payables, so you are seeing health services 3.2. What is it?
Finance is 10.6 million.
Because in other payables you have defined, you have defined the creditor. And I think for disclosure, even staff payables, that definition needs to be clear. Governor, it cannot be department. It should be the actual creditor.
In fact, for staff, when you go to the department, they will get a breakdown of the staff concerned. Maybe just for purposes of consolidation. But I know, for example, in agriculture, the 5.8 million will have a specific breakdown for the individual staff involved.
Now, Auditor, what guidance should you be giving to the county executive? Because even for us, when this comes to us, and we're just seeing a department as a creditor, it does not make sense. It needs to be, the disclosure should be the actual staff member. Either that, what others have done is to summarize the actual expenditure. So it would be pensions, it would be retirement benefits, it would be certain statutory contributions. But I think the best disclosure would be to have the names of the staff. Patrick.
Chair, I want to agree with you because the way the information is disclosed in these financial statements, you cannot be able to tie and say this is the persons to whom these amounts are owed, especially if this relates to staff. So maybe, please allow me, Chair, with my team, to look at the files, the specific audit files, because I know this committee will be going for report writing, to be able to establish to whom these amounts really related to. That when you go to report writing, then you have that information.
Okay,
Thank you, Chair.
That's fair enough. Senator Mariam,
Yes.
we can proceed.
Proceed.
Fine, let's then move to the next issue. So those are the key issues that were raised in the financial statements and that led to the qualification. On budgetary control and performance, this one, when you do it 2 years down the line, it does not make a lot of sense, so we shall just take note of the written responses. Let's go to the section on lawfulness and effectiveness in use of public resources. The first issue there is on outstanding interests, and it's an outstanding matter. Auditor General.
Outstanding interest. The statement of assets and liabilities reflects the balance of Kenya shillings 31,681,180 in respect of outstanding interest and advances, which, as disclosed in Note 13 to the financial statements, relates to the government interest. Review of the supporting schedule revealed that interest amounting to Kenya shillings 30,833,235 have been outstanding for more than 1 year, contrary to Regulation 93, Subregulation 5 of the Public Finance Management County Regulations of 2015. In the circumstances, management was in breach of the law. Thank you, Chair.
Governor.
Thank you, Chair. Out of the 31,681,180 outstanding interest, Kenya shillings 18,411,445 relate to staff who had left the service of the county, and 11,672,169 relates to staff who are still in service, and 1,597,566 had been surrendered. The new management has now put in place the following measures to address this area of interest management. Number one, follow up with payroll office on the status of staff who owe the county and are no longer in service. And one thing I want to confirm, Chair, here is we have actually done letters, because when we have staff leaving service and they have interest, definitely there was a problem of the clearance. And this being a historical matter, we have done letters to those.
What I would encourage is you first read through and then you emphasize.
Thank you. The second item, Chair, is follow up with the payroll office on the status of recovery of the long outstanding interests. Number three step is write-off of any loss in line with Section 150 of the PFM Act 2020-12, where all the options are deemed impossible to recover due to the demise of staff. And then number four is to ensure proper management of interest currently in line with paragraphs 91 to 94 of the PFM Act, County Government Regulations 2015. Note that all the interest issued in the subsequent years, that is 2022 and 2023, were surrendered. Now we have annexes, Chair. That is BC 1.0 to BC 1.2, which highlights the breakdown of the Maroza, we are there.
Oh, yes, yeah, just proceed.
Yeah, so the annexes demonstrates the steps you have taken on the outstanding interest. And the first is the letters you've done, recovery of outstanding interests. This is a letter that was done by the CEC Finance to the county director in charge of human resource, basically highlighting on the outstanding interest and the recovery that should be done. We have on BC 1.1 chair, we have sample letters from the county attorney and director of human resource demanding refund of outstanding interest from the interest defaulters. And this is basically those who have left service. As highlighted earlier, it was amounting to 18 million. But the proper internal control chair is that this should have been done at the time of clearing the staff. But because it didn't happen and those staff are still alive, that's why through the office of the county attorney, letters have been written to those staff. These letters were done on the 3rd of April this year, last year, requesting those staff to refund. We also have, Chair, now the schedules which BC 1.2, this highlights the outstanding interests, the breakdown, as I said, the 31.6 million, the breakdown is into three. 18,411,445. Those are staff who left service, and we have a schedule. 11,672,169 are staff who are in service, and then out of that, 1.5 million, 97,566 have been surrendered. So basically, I've just highlighted all the steps that we have taken. By the staff that are in service, Chair, I want to confirm that they have actually done the surrenders. And even right now, for purposes of continual improvement, we don't have any staff that has outstanding interest, especially at the end of June 2023. Thank you, Chair.
Auditor, you had indicated that only 3 million that could be confirmed to have been surrendered? For what amount was it?
Yes. If you add those figures, which are in the schedules, you'll get 11 million plus the 18 million, that gives us 27 million, which is unsurrendered. So what is surrendered is 4.
Is 4 out of the 30.8.
Out of that one, yes.
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 So a lot of intention but no action. Nothing effective. Senator Omtata.
Yes, I'm concerned about the notes. They seem to be in 2 sets. This is the demand notices. The letters. There's a set of letters authored by the county attorney, and there's a set of them are authored by the human resource. I've got no issues authored by the human resource, which come at the very end, which come from which are at the end of the exhibit. This is exhibit ABC 1.0. Is it? Yes, when you look at them, Chair, the letters authored by the county attorney, signed off by the county attorney, Vivian Mbaka Komonyo, is it? Before the subject, The title without prejudice. You have seen it, sir?
Yes, yes, yes.
That's why the human resources are okay. They don't have that qualifier. So you wanted to know why would you make a demand not without prejudice?
Governor?
What's the import of the word, the expression without the prejudice on a document? What does it mean? What does it do to that document when you stamp it without prejudice tag?
Yeah, allow me to ask the county attorney. Do enough is here to respond to that one.
Thank you, Chair. For demand notices that we issue, it's a practice that we have, that we connote them with on a without prejudice basis, so that the same cannot be used against us in a court of law in case the matter escalates to court.
So we are not sure of the demand you are making.
No, we are sure. It's just a practice that we have.
And if you yourself were to move to court of law, would you use them? How would you demonstrate that you have demanded money from this person? Would you be able to produce them in court?
Yes, because I'm the author of the document. But on the other side, the without prejudice is so that it cannot be used against us.
No. Maybe we need some clarification from our legal experts, because this thing basically makes the document an undocument.
It takes the bite out of it.
Yeah. You cannot be that one party can use it and the other party cannot use it. You put the equality of arms in court.
And that notwithstanding, have these demand notes generated any compliance? Because so far, the only recovery has been of about 3-point-something million. What has been the result of this spirited effort?
We have been following up with the individuals who are indebted to the county government, and we believe that some payments have been made out of it.
How many people did you write to? Because what we have here is a sample.
This was done sometime last year, but it should be over 50 individuals, Chair.
So did you receive any responses? Because this was specifically addressed to members of staff and signed off by, are you the one who signed them off?
Yes, I did.
Well, it was a CS. They're signed by, CS means what? Company secretary?
Certified secretary.
Certified secretary.
Yes.
You say that should we fail to receive the above mentioned sums within 7 days from the date of demand, we have strict instructions to institute appropriate legal action. Tell us whether there is any legal action in progress.
There are those that responded, which letters, if we're given time, we can be able to avail. There are those that responded and committed to make payments to the county CRF account. And for those that did not respond, we have only filed about 3 cases against them.
You confirmed to the Senate that there are 3 active cases against staff on recovery of interest?
Yes, and documents can be availed, Chair.
What are the amounts involved?
I may not be too sure, but if given time, I can confirm about the specific amounts.
Senator Cherargei, go on record.
Thank you, Chair. Cherargei Kiprotich is my name, Senator of Nandi County and the Vice Chairperson of this committee. Thank you.
You're welcome, Senator. We find it a waste of our time as a Senate to be discussing interest issues. You have referred to the regulations, and the PFM has got very clear and very detailed provisions on management of interest. I do not think that for us it's a matter of opening a window for people to voluntarily surrender surrender is not voluntary. It's mandatory. Even as in Parliament, it is mandatory for us. So we can't have another system in Kakamega where people surrender when they want, or they only surrender when they are taken to court. I'm seeing items here like float. So an imprest called float, what do you use it for, Governor? I'm seeing float of 50,000. One was given to Bernard Macodero on 12th of September 2019. Float of 50,000.
Thank you, Chair.
Is that petty cash?
That is actually petty cash. For example, we have our sub-county administrators and also our ward administrators who are given interest on a monthly basis.
So if to date it has not been surrendered, hasn't it been eaten?
And that's what I'm saying. To date, Chair, we have actually put measures in place. And you are dealing with historical issues.
No. Yes, there's a future, but we must deal with these thieves of float.
Absolutely.
They cannot get away because you are solving the problem in future. And we must deal with them.
And that is why we are taking legal action on the fellows who left, because it was a mistake. In the first place, they were supposed to have been cleared when you have an outstanding interest. And because we have an option of getting that money using legal means, that's why we are going that route.
Are any of these recipients part of your delegation?
No, they're not. They're not.
Senator Mariam, you had a question?
Chair, partly you have asked. If I check the attachment here, not in service, which is almost 18 billion, and most of them is 2019, 2016. There is one of 2016 which is 1.8. My concern is, if at all, somebody, because there is an accountant who gave out this money, if this person is not in the service, where is the accountant who gave it out? He's supposed to be liable on that. If 7 days not remitted, the accountant who is in the office is liable on refunding this money.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. I agree with Senator. I think the first respondent here is the person who took the money. The next level, if we are unlikely to recover the amount from the first person, the first respondent who took the money, then I will go to the next level of roping in the officers out with the approval and the actual disbursement. But because the fellows who took the money, even if they have left service, they are still alive, we believe that pursuing the legal action will bear some fruits, Chair.
Vice Chair?
Chair, maybe Governor, who is one, it's consulted or Vanilla.
Order, Governor, so that you can get the question from Senator Cherargei.
Governor, who is in charge of your impress management in the county? Number two, I've seen out of, I think, 31 million, you have collected only 4 million, and you are pursuing legal means to get the recourse in terms of recovering the principal amount, including the interest. Because in all these individuals who took, how many are still with the county? That's my question number 3. And finally, if you give us the person who is in charge of impress management, I think the committee should surcharge that person to pay this money as you pay, if he's still within or she is still within the county of Kakamega. Thank you, Chair. If the Governor can answer those 4 questions, thank you.
Governor?
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, imprest is managed at the Chief Officer Public Service. Basically, that is the office that is in charge of all the staff issues. And I want to confirm here that, Chair, We have actually done the best we can to address this issue, bearing in mind that some of the interests are dating way back to 6 years down the line. In terms of the staff, especially those that are in service, we have provided a schedule here. I think they're almost they're almost 25 in number. And when you look at the specific amounts which are involved, I know some of them have surrendered, and that is why in the financial year 2020, 2023, 2024, you see an improvement, especially on the fellows who are in service. And that is why, confidently, for the ones in service, they don't have a problem. The biggest risk are these amounts of 18.4 million. And some of the cases, Chair, we have a fellow like the 1.8 million who is already serving a sentence, was arrested, and the matter was prosecuted. The 1.8 case was an accountant who is serving a sentence right now. So what I can say here is we are left with the fact that this is an area that can be abused. As we sort out the historical past, we have put in place strict systems of internal controls to make sure that we don't have these cases being repeated as we speak right now. Thank you.
Through the chair, maybe Governor was very specific. How many are still with county outside that you have said some have surrendered? How many in number? And where is the Chief Officer of Public Service? Is he here with us?
The Chief Officer is here. Our Chief Priest is here. Of course.
But from pursuing legal means, was he never creative enough to put other mechanisms? Because while we are not morticians per se, I would have expected us to give us futuristic aspects so that we don't, because we are discussing interest of this colossal amount, then they must have been with internal control system. So how many, to just be specific, how many are still with the county government? Because I accepted you, Chair, you know, this, when members of parliament in the last session was paid house allowance, when SRC moved to court, as they pursued the court legal matter, they started recovering their money from our salary. So I want to know the specific number of officers still within the county through the chair, and then through the Chief Officer of Public Service, you should have attached their salary to recover. As you wait for the court matter, we are aware court matter may take long. Governor, can you give us the practicability, unless you are telling us all these officers that had interest, all of them are no longer working with county government of Kakamega, and then we can take a different tangent. But if they are working with county government, even if they are 10, and yet attachment of salary has not been done, then it means the Chief Officer of Public Service must be surcharged to recover the amount. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, Governor, the brief response, maybe you point back to the annex that you had indicated.
Yeah, the annex is there, Chair. We have 41 staff who are in service that relate to the outstanding interest of 11 million. And out of the 11 million, Chair, we have 6 million that have been surrendered. And I'll request the Chief Officer who is here, our Chief Prisoner, maybe to shed some more light.
No, I think I will not grant that because we find it a waste of the time of the Senate to be discussing interest.